it's Jordan. Long time no see. So today is going to be a book vlog, and I think it's really going to be focused on me finishing the book that I'm currently reading because I need to. I'm finishing or getting deeper into One Golden Summer by Carley Fortune. I have to say, Every Summer After by her is one of my favorite books ever. And I was so excited to hear that she was releasing this one, which focuses on Charlie. So I'm literally only 2 chapters in right now. So I'm going to delve more into this. I've been severely slacking on my goal for the year, which is 50 books. It's a super gloomy, rainy day. Summer is coming to an end, which I'm so deeply sad about. But that's why I want to finish my last summer read. And then later on, I think I want to get into my fall TBR because that list is very long, and I think that will help me catch up on my reading goal also. For now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cozy up and read more of Miss Carley Fortune. I'm going to set a timer. Maybe I'll do 30 minutes and I'll see how much reading I can do in the next 30 minutes. 30 minutes. How much can I get done for Miss Fortune? Let's go. Let's go. So in my 30 minutes, I managed to make it to chapter 10. I read about 40 pages. I need to take a break. 30 minutes was good because I haven't eaten anything yet today and I'm absolutely starving. So I think now is my time to maybe run to the grocery store because I do have to do that. I'll have something to eat and then we'll regroup. I have returned from the store. I am taking a quick break. I'm currently watching Hannah Maddie's most recent vlog from Sicily and Malta. So that is my quick break, and then I'm gonna keep reading. Okay, changed locations. I'm now in my bedroom. I just wanted the cozy vibes in here, and I put new sheets on the bed yesterday, so I just wanted to lay here. Plus, Zuko's here. So I think I'm gonna hang out in here. I'll set another 30-minute timer, I think, and see how much reading I get done. Okay, so I want to quickly talk about my thoughts so far. I'm on page 119. I read up to chapter 18. First things, I really find myself connecting with Alice. I thought she was the oldest daughter, but she gives that oldest daughter energy. She's a photographer. I love photography, and I kind of relate to her, you know, struggling to find her place in the world, not feeling super passionate about her career in photography, trying to find her passion again, putting her family first. So I kind of relate to her in that sense, and I do like her as a character. I understand why she is so guarded when it comes to Charlie. And Charlie, I read the first book. Every Summer After is one of my favorite books ever, and with that I should be a Charlie hater, but I'm not, and I never was, and I'm loving his character also. It's like hard to tell if he's just being super flirty, like to get at her, and obviously, like, since this is a whole book about them, I'm sure it's not, but like it's kind of giving like he's a ladies' man. They were just at the hair salon, Alice and Nan, and all the girls were talking about how he's a ladies' man. So I understand why her guard is up from her past and, you know, from Charlie's current actions and then previous actions, which I'm sure she will learn about. But yeah, I am really enjoying this. In the book right now, it's like rainy and gloomy, and it's her birthday, and it's rainy and gloomy outside today, so I know it's supposed to be like cute summer book, but the weather in the book is matching the weather outside, and I love a seasonal situational So unfortunately my camera died mid-sentence. What I was saying is that I love a seasonal read, a situational read, and I love that the weather in the book is currently matching the weather outside. I think I want to keep going. I'm gonna ditch my timers now that I'm like about almost halfway into the book, so those are my thoughts currently. I'm gonna keep going. Talk to you soon. Okay, so my camera's back from the dead. I'm now on page 273. Told you I was gonna lock in today. It's chapter 40. Let me tell you my updated thoughts. I still feel really connected to Alice. I like the way that she is progressing this relationship with Charlie. In a way, the other part of me is like, come on already. Like, let's get the ball rolling. I'm shocked that he revealed the big secret that like you find out in the first book already. Like, I thought that was gonna like come up later on, but anyway, I'm loving this so far. I want to finish it. Like, look, that little bit is how much I have left, and like I want to finish it, but I don't want to finish it because I don't want it to be over, but I also like want to have another book on my TBR finished, you know? So anyway, that's where I'm at. Perfect. No notes. 0. None. Hi again. A significant amount of time has passed since I filmed the first half of this. Today is September 8th. I don't know what day it was when I was filming the first half of this video, but it was definitely still August, so time has gone by. However, anyway, as promised, I still want to run through my fall TBR. I've already started working on it, as it, like I said, is already September. But let me start from the top. So there's a few books from my fall TBR that I've actually already read since the time has gone by, and I'll tell you my reviews of those. The first one on my list was Darling Girls by Sally Hepworth. I'll read the quick synopsis. For as long as they can remember, Jessica, Nora, and Alicia have been told how lucky they are. As young girls, they were rescued from family tragedies and raised by a loving foster mother on an idyllic farming estate, given an elusive second chance at a happy family life. But their childhood wasn't the fairy tale everyone thinks it was. And basically, there's this big thing that happens with the foster home that they grew up in. They had a very traumatic childhood there as well. And now, present day, decades later, they have to deal with the aftermath of something that happened there a really long time ago. So I ended up giving this book 4 stars, which I think honestly was a little bit generous of me. However, my word for word review on Goodreads is that this was an interesting, fast-paced mystery, which is extremely true. I really liked the main characters as an unusual trio. I think they kind of complemented each other very well, even though they had absolutely nothing in common. I think there was a lot of side characters and side plots that were brought up in the story that certainly could have used some more developing. Like, they were there, but it wasn't followed through all the way, and it just kind of made me wonder what the point of bringing them up in the first place was. And it wasn't like a super twisty, like mind-bending thriller, but there was definitely some curveballs, so I really enjoyed that. A second book that was on my fall TBR that I have also read was The Meadowbrook Murders by Jessica Goodman. I ended up giving this 3 stars. I just finished reading it the other day. Basically, to make a long story short, it is a private boarding school, a high school. This girl, her name is Amy, she wakes up to find her roommate, her best friend, and her boyfriend, best friend's boyfriend, both dead. They're both murdered, and the story unravels of the roommate Amy and an unlikely partner Liz, who reports for the school newspaper. Hi, it's me editing this video. I don't know what happened to the rest of this clip, never finished it, don't know why, but basically Amy and Liz are both trying to solve the murder, figure out what happened in their own ways. And that is how the story is told from both of their perspectives. And I thought it was pretty interesting. Nothing like mind-blowing, but it was a good, you know, if you want something quicker, fast-paced mystery kind of situation, it was good. A third book that was on my TBR, this was actually given to me by my grandma, who is an avid reader, an avid mystery reader. It's called Find Her by Lisa Gardner. I am currently actively reading this one. I've read this much just today. I have this little bit left. I believe this is part of a series that Lisa Gardner writes, but it's not like an interconnected series. This is like, it can all be read as standalones, but it follows Detective Dee Dee Warner, I think her last name is. Warren, sorry. Dee Dee Warren, and she is following the case of a girl who was a kidnapping victim, but now she thinks is some sort of like vigilante for other women who have been through similar experiences as her. But it's very good. It is a classic mystery. I don't think it's meant to be like a psychological thriller, but definitely a thriller murder mystery. So this is really good, and I'm in the process of finishing this up. Okay, now let me quickly run through the rest of my TBR before my camera dies on me again. First up is called Gray After Dark by Noelle W. Ely. This one says, when a tragic accident sidelines Miley's dreams of Olympic gold, she takes a summer job at a mountain guest lodge. The Frank Church wilderness is remote, perfect place to recover. Miley plans a terrifying detour when she's abducted during a morning run, held captive in a desolate off-grid cabin, will have to use her athletic prowess, cunning mind, and courage to survive. As it escalates, she's forced to form an unlikely alliance and escape. This is supposed to be a psychological thriller with, quote, a finale that will leave you breathless. So that sounded super intriguing to me as a lover of a psychological thriller. I don't know how I rotated that way. The next one I have is The Kind Worth Killing by Peter Swanson. I went on a deep dive on like Reddit threads one day of psychological thrillers that would actually shock me, and this was one of them. This one has pretty great reviews also. They're comparing it to Girl on the Train. It says, on a night flight from London to Boston, Ted Severson meets the stunning and mysterious Lily Kintner. There we go. Sharing one too many martinis, the strangers begin to play a game of truth, revealing very intimate details about themselves. Ted talks about his marriage, what's going on with his wife. He's sure she's cheating on him. Ted and his wife were always a mismatch, but their game turns a little darker when Ted jokes that he could kill his wife for what she's done. Lily, without missing a beat, says, I'd like to help. So then they bond as they begin to plot his wife's death. Involved in a game of cat and mouse, one they both cannot survive, with a shrewd and very determined detective on their trail. That sounds really good. If it's not a psychological book, it definitely sounds interesting. It sounds like something that'll keep me on my toes the whole time. Another book that's been on my TBR for a minute. Since it's fall, I'm like really just leaning into the mystery, thriller, seasonal spookiness of it all. The next one is called Havoc by Christopher Bolin. This is, quote, a twisty, atmospheric psychological suspense about a meddlesome elderly guest at a decadent luxury hotel who believes she has left her problematic past behind until she decides to interfere in the lives of a young mother and her 8-year-old son and finally meets her wicked match. Basically, it's just what's happening with them at the hotel. This one has some pretty decent reviews too. Another one is a super popular one that I know a lot of people have read. It's The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. I know this is like a summary, more of a summary book. Takes place in a campground, but somebody's missing, somebody else goes missing, which gives like the mystery vibes of fall. So that's on my TBR too. I also have another really popular one. This is an old one. I have it on my shelf. It's been on my TBR for a very long time and I'm going to read it this fall. Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. This is a fantasy book and I haven't read a ton of fantasy, but I feel like this gives really like fall dark academia fantasy vibes. So that's what I kind of want to lean more into as well. So I'm definitely going to check that one off my TBR this fall. I also have Glass Dolls by D.E. White. This is another like detective series similar to Find Her, and this is the first one in that series. A girl's found murdered, she's encased in glass. This is almost a replica of a serial killer murder. Oh, her niece was killed by this serial killer 4 years ago, and now she's in charge of the case, so she's like obviously has more of a drive to solve it. So that's another one. It, again, just sounds really interesting. I love a mystery, I love a thriller. And then finally, the last fall-esque book on my TBR, Twilight by Stephenie Meyer. I have seen all of the movies. I've watched them all, 1 through 5, on multiple occasions. My mom had the books when I was younger, like when they first were coming out. It was 2009, I think, so I was probably 8 or 9 years old when the books were coming out, and she always said they were just wildly inappropriate for me, no matter how badly I wanted to read the vampire books. So yeah, that's on my fall TBR. I would love to read the whole series, I think, but that is a task that may or may not happen, so I think I'll start with the first one maybe, and we'll go from there. So that is my fall TBR that is a work in process. Hopefully I can make more of these once I've actually read the books. This is gonna hold me accountable to actually read the books. I love fall. There's so much to love about fall. I love the clothing. I love the seasonal reads. I love the vibes, the atmosphere, the candles, the decor, the holidays, Halloween, Thanksgiving, and then even like getting into winter time, Christmas and New Year's. My birthday is also in November. I'm a Scorpio, so that is just an added bonus to the fall season. I love a sweater. I love a crispy leaf. I love apple cider. I love anything that you could associate with fall. I love, except for pumpkin spice. That's my hot take. But anyway, that was the book vlog. This was pretty fun to make. Hopefully, like I said, I can make more of these once I find the drive to read. But I think I'm getting there. I think now that it's getting colder out, I'm ready to cozy up on the couch with a book and not leave the house if I don't have to. So just to wrap this up, thank you so much for watching. I love making YouTube videos when, again, I find the time and the motivation to actually film and edit and do all the things, but it is something I've always loved and I'm super passionate about. And I hope everyone who's watching also gets that through this or feels the same way about something else they love. So that's it. Thank you again for watching. I will see you soon. Bye.